Whoop, whoop, whoop. Test, test. Okay. Okay, you can preview the stream, open our stream, watch what we actually do. Hey, hello everyone. This is our second stream. This is not gonna be a video one, meaning I'm not gonna be here. We will do a very quick one explaining the story and how we designed Slime Home. The demo you can actually download on the below under the stream. You can download and play it, and we're gonna do a quick wrap up what it was about, how we did it, and why instead of one day it took us at least 3 weeks. Today I'm joined by one and only my flesh and blood. Hey, flesh and blood, speak up.
Blood and flesh.
Okay,
it's
so welcome, this is Kirill. Kirill is my brother, my little brother, and together we actually make or try to make games from January this year. So let's do first the most important part. I've downloaded some builds. First of all, let's quickly play through Slime Home for you to understand what we're gonna talk about and to have a baseline. If you played it, I will show a couple of tricks. If you did not, don't worry, we're gonna do it fast. So, Slime Home is a one-button game we did for a game jam about slimes. It's a randomly colored endless world that's basically evolves around pressing spacebar. So you press a spacebar, you see our hero, the creation of Kirill, and the whole game is only controlled by pressing the spacebar. That was my idea from the beginning, and I will later catch up on that. You press space, the music starts playing, and you slowly jump and begin to gain speed, to gain height, and everything like that. What you probably might fail in tutorial to show off is how you can quickly level up and gain speed, because basically your level also controls, it's really loud, it controls how high you can jump and what's your actual combo and stuff like that. So play the game, you can feel for yourself, but basically if you want to quickly level up and get to the best part, just do like this. So at some point in the demo, you begin to see new colors, and after level 5, if I'm correct, yeah, these guys. That was when I began to make it. Okay, let's close this one. So basically, this is the whole gameplay. You press on spacebar, you jump, and you level up. You keep your level is persistent through all of the playthroughs, and it has an ending. It ends on something, and then it I don't know. You know what happens next if you played it. There is no end whatsoever, both in terms of levels and in terms of the level up. So you gain speed and you become more and more and more powerful. You jump faster and stuff like that. So this is this is actually the game we've made. I hope you will download it, try and enjoy. So now, why I have this Unreal open? So hey, you here?
Yep.
I will quickly show not only you, every random person on the stream that will somehow come. I will also explain to Kirill, because he always gives me shit for working too long, making crappy games. So I will explain to him what's the actual purpose of all of this and why it took me so long. So to establish some very base understanding, when we began this whole project, it was for this. It was for Slime Jam. It was a jam that ran from October 27th until October 29th. So basically, it was like 3 weeks ago for the weekend, and it was supposed to be our debut in creating something small, something final to be released and to be shared with people. And it had to be about the slime, not this slime, but any slime. So I approached Kirill with the idea to actually make something like this. See, around 33 or 40 people registered for the whole game jam, and only 8 finished. This is normal. We're one of the the rest of the people who did not send the actual demo. But
Dropouts.
yeah, because I will explain now why it happened. But you can just go to itch.io if you know what it is. It's basically Steam for indie games and stuff like that. Go into itch.io, just /jam/slime jam. Play the games, and you can see what people make under 48 hours, basically just for the game jam. If I remember correctly, Kirill actually likes this one, Slime Friends. It's a small, oh jeez, it's for Pico 8, whatever it is. Cool game. So basically, we wanted to make a game for this jam, and we decided to start working on it Friday night and to finish by Sunday evening. We didn't finish it in time, and it slowly grew harder and harder to finish. I did more and more stuff on the project, and overall it took close to 3 weeks, meaning we worked from day to day, not every day, but at least an hour from time to
Couple
time.
hours a day.
Yeah, so Kirill did all of the, if I open it again, Kirill did all of the models, meaning if you see the cabin, the log, if you see the slime, if you see the trees, these trees that pop up, he did all of the models, and it all happened during these 3 weeks of development, but most of them were made during the actual jam.
In a day.
In a day, probably, yeah, he will explain later. And what I did was to create the whole game. So I've managed to completely erase most of what happened on the first day, but just for you, I tried to, let me check actually what I show on the OBS. I tried to recreate my initial idea. So initially, let me open this map. Yeah, this map. So initially the idea was pretty simple. On the first stream, what I showed about the Nightfall and how Unreal Engine and blueprints actually work. If you want to do something very simple, very like basic, like a character jumping, you need only one function, one node. It's a pre-existing node in Unreal Engine that lets your character actually jump up. So on the first day, what I did, don't mind, I will explain later what I'm doing right now, don't worry. I'm just making sure that it works like almost like on the first day. Let me do it like this. Yeah, like this. So on the first day, I had this idea about basically a music box. If you understand what it means, a box that, let's say when you play it, it slowly rolls a cylinder. It slowly rolls some form of a slate or some form of a image on the same space. So basically, when you play the music box, you hear the music and it rolls around, but you still stay in the same place. So to show off how it actually works, let's see. This is what I did on the first day. I had this world, and I had not this model, but some other model before Kirill made it. And when you pressed jump, see, you're actually, it works basically almost like in the final build. So you're jumping, it's very simple. What you don't see, what you don't, the whole gimmick of what I tried to make was to actually make an illusion, to actually trick you into thinking that you're moving, because let me jump to the end, because when you reach to the end, you understand how it actually works. The whole trick was you never move from the same spot. So basically, you never actually jump, you never actually move. What happens is the character, he stays on this platform. The platform is stationary, same as the character. And every time you press jump, what it happens on the back end, I send to all of the actors, meaning all of the objects that are I need in this demo level to go back. I basically push them. I push them behind me, and every jump you push a bit more and a bit more, and it creates an illusion of you actually jumping. So, so once again, at this moment, you're not jumping, you're staying in place. It's basically the world that scrolls behind you, below you, whatever that doesn't mean. So Kirill didn't actually know this, and
No.
so that was made on the first day, and I was very proud of it. I was very happy, and I was positive that we can make it by Sunday. I was absolutely sure we can make it. I was proud. I was happy. What went wrong is that basically the already created stationary stuff, not stationary, pre-created functions in Unreal, and what I've told also on the first Project Nightfall stream is that you don't have a lot of control for them, because they are already in the engine, and you can go in, you can edit them, but it's gonna probably fuck up all of the engine at some point. So if you want to do something custom, it creates a lot of problems. And after a couple of days, I understood that my idea didn't work, because what I wanted for the slime to jump, I wanted to slowly gain momentum, slowly gain speed, and beginning, as you see on the beginner's tutorial, I wanted for him to, or her, whatever, to slowly gain height and gain speed and jump higher and faster and faster. All the time I kept in my mind this whole picture. If you saw in, hey man, do you remember the Incredible Hulk movie, the first one?
Movie?
Movie, yeah. In Hulk, the first Hulk movie.
No.
Doesn't matter. So it had this bit about Hulk basically jumping once, twice, third time, and the Hulk jumps like through the whole desert, and then slowly jumps through the whole world and ends in some city.
Yeah, something like that, I remember.
Yeah, so what I had in mind is basically this. You had to gain momentum, you had to gain speed, and at some point you would basically jump for several miles at the same time. But using the maybe I'm stupid, maybe I don't know how to make a lot of it happen, but using the stuff that Unreal has, it created a lot of problems of doing this exact idea. And no, actually, wait a second. And what happened with the whole world, actually? See, this is the pickaxe that Kirill made for me closer to the end of the development. A week ago, maybe. You remember the pickaxe?
Kinda. I'll
So-
see it in a minute.
Okay, yeah, because mind that Kirill is watching the stream same as you, 1 minute behind me, because it's YouTube. So basically, the problem that began with this whole idea of a scrolling world is when you would jump, the world will scroll, but if somewhere I forget about an object, or if I want to do something more complex than just basically one actor that contains a lot of actors, it would begin to look like this. You would see that some objects are actually stationary, stay in the same place, and it would create a whole breaking of the illusion. And it was basically driving me insane, keeping in my mind how many of the actors I actually implemented for this whole system. So after 2 days, understanding, after several builds that I sent to Kirill, and he said all of them are shit, all of them are not fun, I began to think how to make it Simpler. And what I keep telling Kirill every time we make anything together, keep it simple. Try to keep it simple. The problem with me is I try to keep it simple and then create this. This is how the slime works right now. This whole stuff is basically revolves around making the slime jump, gain speed, gain levels, and get killed, stuff like that. So these three nodes that basically control how you actually jump and the world scrolls, very simple. But if you want to create what you see in the final build of the final project, this is it. And it's only
Jeez.
it's only slime. I'm not fucking let me tell you, if you want to go to some if you want to go to let's say the spike, so this is the stuff that controls every slide. Oh yeah, that's what I forgot to tell you. Let me return all of the stuff. You can actually, while I'm compiling the stuff back, you can actually tell people on the stream what did you think about the project in the beginning, and why did you think it was the most fucking awesome thing you ever heard?
Well, I mean, I didn't know about the whole jukebox idea.
See, I was that good.
I don't know, maybe it was a waste of energy on your part. Because it didn't seem like the world was moving. It was just as if you jumped. I didn't see any difference whatsoever.
But that's the whole fucking part, man. When you jump, the world, it looks like you jump, but you're not jumping. You're staying in place. You're not moving anywhere. You're staying in the same spot. That's the whole idea. When in the beginning, in the first build I made, when you jump, this whole world actually moves. Okay, so
I get it. I don't get why.
See, this is why I dropped it, because I hope at some point in time, people who want to make games and who go to Unreal for help to make it, get to these videos and to learn from our mistakes, because this was my stupid ambition. This was my own personal thinking, oh, how fucking smart I am. See how tricky I am. But all of this, all of the time you spend creating this intricate, it's a very complex system that doesn't need to be like this. And people like Kirill, lazy ass modelers who do one model a week and then somehow think they made the game, they will never know that you spent your whole week trying to implement one trick, okay? So my whole message to you is, don't be stupid like me. Keep it simple. Do the stuff that I did in the end. What I did in the end is actually I made a basic jump. I made the slime just jump. That's it. Nothing special. The slime, you press the button, slime jumps. That's it. You actually just basically move forward. That's it. What I've added is a whole system that controls how the music is played, how you level up, how long you need to stay on the ground for the music to stop and stuff like that. But basically you press the button and you just jump. What I want for Kirill to tell to you is how we came to the whole faces idea.
Faces idea?
On the slime.
Well, I don't know.
Why is it some creepy dude? Where did you get it, man?
you gave me the general idea of the faces of the model that you wanted of the slime.
Yeah, because it was a game about the slime.
Yeah, it was for the gem.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I've never actually worked with textures. I'm just learning on the go everything. So for a couple of days, I had to quickly learn Photoshop, very basics, but I had to learn it because I needed to make a texture with a face with 3 different states. And I suck at drawing, even in real life, and even worse on Photoshop. But when I saw a blank creepy looking slime, I knew what I wanted. The image of a Pikachu with a man's face just popped into my head. I knew the meme that I needed to use. So after a quick Google search, I found out that that face is actually from
Doesn't matter.
from a
This
very,
is
very, very scary place.
It's not a very scary place. It's called hentai and it's art. So
Yaoi. Yaoi.
shut up. So basically, what I didn't tell Kirill and what I wanted to show from this, because the gameplay is very simple. If you play the game, you saw it. You basically press, you level up, you jump, and you try to press during the jump to evade stuff like spikes, not to die. Basically, when you die, you begin back in the same spot and you jump again, and the world is just basically colored differently, but it's the same world. What I didn't tell Kirill how it actually works is how it randomly generated. So see here, so there is no game, no world whatsoever. What exists at any given time is a set of slates. It's a slate. Let's look like, I don't know, like this. This is the beginning slate. This is the beginning of the game. So what I made is one basic template of a slate of the world that would contain some objects. Why you see them as white cubes and why you see them spaced like this is because on the point of construction, let's say I move this one around, okay? On the point of construction, this one slate will create randomly what color it needs to have, what shape the object is, and what angle is it. So let's say it's basically, when the game begins, it will morph the object like this, it will angle the object like this, and it will also color the object. So I made this basic slate of a world, and when you pass one of these gates, the one slate behind you gets destroyed just to keep the memory safe, memory free of the stuff. And you actually create a slate right here. So basically, when you pass one of the gates, you create a new slate before you, and so on, and so on, and so on. So basically, this world can go on forever. It will never end as long as the in-game rules I apply allow the new slate to come up. What I mean by that is when you reach level 5, you begin to see harder slates with the spikes that can actually kill you. So you go forward and forward and forward, and each time one slate behind you gets deleted. All of this gets deleted. All of this. Oh, nope, not this. And a new slate pops up, and a new slate pops up, and so on and so on. With time, I began to create new kinds of slates. Let's say harder spikes. Yeah. Because you remember, Kirill, playing through the first couple of builds when you just basically jumped and you only jumped. No obstacles, nothing to do, just jump. Tell me, how fun was it? How awesome was it?
Well, it was fun for a minute. After gained velocity.
Example, not as example, but I mean exactly, okay?
Okay.
I'm a big proponent of the idea that your game has to be fun. Fun means for different people, different stuff, meaning it can be Dark Souls fun, it can be Dear Ether fun, it can be Darkest Dungeon fun, whatever. Story-wise, gameplay-wise, but if your game is not fun, then why do I have to even fucking play it, okay? That's why I began to understand that just by jumping, just the fact that I create this world, this endless world that begins to pop up, nobody's gonna think the game is fun just because of it, because I myself know it's not fun. It's boring. It's fucked up. That's why I began to create slates that can actually kill you, that you need to evade. And they work also very basic. Not this is easy start. Let's say this. See, it's seemingly the same slate of the same world, but I, let's say, added these spikes. This is the model that Kirill made a close to the end of the development, on the week, let's say 4, stuff like that. But it doesn't matter, because before it was just a cube, a smooshed cube, that when you pass by, that when as a slime you fly through the gate, through the first gate, the spikes will begin to extend. I'm saying this just for you to understand how to maybe make something similar in your own project. So the spike extends, all of this is handled in this very simple timeline function. It's a basic timeline from 0 second to, I don't remember, half a second, and it extends the scale of the object on the z-axis, okay? So I made several slices like this, and I created a loop where I will not spoil the loop, but if you play the game, if you finish the game, you know what's the loop. You reach several points, and after these several points, the world begins to spawn different objects, different slates. And that's basically how the game works. That's basically the whole premise. The one difference I would say about the mechanics is in the middle of the development, it was when you begin to jump, the music would always play. You just begin to jump and music would always play. But even though Kirill had no idea about this whole music slate, music box idea, I wanted for action and for music to be always when you actually do stuff. And when you stop doing, when you are passive, when you're just observing, music will stop. So I began to develop a very stupid system for music to stop, but it's not especially interesting, but just for everyone who's interested, the music is one track that plays continuously, and at some point it stops, records the position, then when you begin to play again, it sets the track on the new position, just if you would like to make something like that. So about the games, that's basically it. The only thing I would, from my side, before Kirill will tell you something about the models, because we have this sweet looking tree that looks like I don't know how I don't know how to say in English ukrop, but Kirill knows it's this stuff you put in your soup. So before deal, I don't know, man. Maybe.
Ukrop, deal.
Deal, sure, whatever you say.
DILL.
Okay, shut up. So one final thing from my side before I end this that I would add is when we began this this series of streams, meaning Nightfall, I never wanted to make live because I'm a person that has, you don't see me on the video right now because I'm a person that has a very high scarcity factor, let's say like this, because I cannot be on the camera and think and perform at the same time. This is why after we did this cursed Stomper stream that you will never find anywhere, it took us Stomper.
Did you delete it?
No, shut up. After we did 5 hours of one stream, and at the end of it, we created a very bad-looking game. I was despising myself. I was ashamed, and this is why we decided to make the game first, and then probably explain to you for any random person that's in the end will somehow come and watch the stream in the far future when we actually make Nightfall. Maybe you will learn some stuff. And from me personally, my final point on Project Slime and on your first several projects, keep in mind that it will take more time than you ever expected to make, for it to be made, and try to scale back. Always, no matter what idea you have, start with something very simple. Make sure that your idea in the beginning, these 3 nodes that make the world scroll up and stuff like that, make sure that the basic gameplay works from the first day and it's fun before you spend several weeks making something that you in the end will understand not working and scrap up. Take your idea, test it, play yourself, show it to show it to friends, to relatives, make sure it's fun, and then you can add colors, models, music, everything else. Always begin with this. Just a set of cubes and geometrical shapes. That's if you can't make your game fun with this set of geometrical shapes, maybe it doesn't deserve to be made. So your your 5 minutes of fame begin now. Tell me about this sweet tree and this sweet cabin in the woods.
Remember, I don't see it at the moment.
We actually didn't use any of the final cabins that are not not destroyed, because I used only the model that's crashed up.
Oh,
So
stop. Is a loud word.
well, I mean, when talking about the slime, I don't know how long did it take you, and I don't have your first model that looked like a.
I have it.
Well, let's not look at that because at some point children could actually watch the stream. But did it take you a long time? Because, by the way, let's establish that I'm not a programmer. I began only in January to actually try to make Nightfall. I had the idea for a long time, but it never was put into actual work. And you as well, when did you begin learning parts of Unreal? Summer. So was it Blender already, or was it just Unreal at the time?
Khan Academy and Unreal first at summer. Blender by the end of the summer.
So let's say I'm looking at the cabin that you made that looks like Baba Yaga home, and I asked for you to make it because at some point I wanted for Slime Home to actually star an actual home at the beginning and at the end of the journey. How long did it take for you to make the slime and this cabin? Slime, cabin, how many hours or days?
Well, it should take you about half an hour. And it should take me half an hour right now.
I bet somebody who plays through Slime Home and I don't know some other projects would say that you can make all of this in some fucking Unity in like 1 day or half an hour. That doesn't apply to us. We're different people with a very special set of skills that does not involve making models or programming.
Well, Slime took, what, half a day, considering we remade it a couple of times.
From the
simply because I have, yes, simply because I couldn't fathom the proportions of a slime.
Because a slime is basically what I tried to explain to you, and because a slime is not some random object or an idea, because the slime comes from Dragon Quest and it's popular and looks always the same. It's like a packet, I don't know how to say in English, but it's basically a body of water contained within some plastic bag that you take by one point and pull up. So that's what I tried to tell you, because the first couple of models that you sent to me were looking like man testicles. And after that, I decided that we need an actual slime. So, okay, slime you made, again, how long?
Well, slime, again, half a day.
Half a day.
It should take you 10 minutes. It would take me right now 1 minute maybe.
Well, after we finished Project Slime, meaning after you spent 3 weeks with me trying to make it a game. And the cabin?
Cabin is also not that hard. It's just, it was supposed to be made at the end of the what was it? What the event? At the end of the jam.
Yeah, because
I wasn't making it properly. I wasn't connecting it properly. I was doing it fast because I was expecting it to be just at the beginning, not moving, not seen you know, like a 2D image, but in 3D. And when days went, weeks went, you told me to change it because I actually made it another same one from the ground up because it was so hastily made and not supposed to work. It was supposed to look fast. It wasn't connected properly. It was just a mess. But still,
You're also
all models, all the models, very basic, very basic.
very basic, yeah. Well, man, we
Beyond
just
beginner.
we just started, so even though I began to try Unreal from in my own time, I'm not doing it every day, but still every week's at least a couple of days I try to make something in Unreal. I began it in January, you began in spring, in summer, and you're also doing the animations. That's what important.
Yeah. That's the point. I'm learning 4, 5 different stuff at the same time. So it took those 3 weeks. Mostly, I was working on the music that will be shown in the next game. I
Okay,
think.
that's what people don't know, that you're actually a musician. Same way that people don't know I'm a godlike drummer, but let's keep it for the next time. Animations, models, you, game design, programming, and grabbing some random music from the internet is me. Project Slime is started as a music box with a world that scrolls by, that's endless, and that loops at some point into something you will see if you play and actually manage to finish the game. Once again, don't always remember that that you don't need, but you can while you're in the air. I don't know. I will probably die. Yeah, I will die. While you are in the air, that you can actually press jump again, and this will make you jump. Not jump, but how do you say it? Bounce.
Bounce?
Yeah, meaning when you have, let me make it like this. The Hulk stuff. Remember I told you Hulk.
Yep.
So yeah, basically remember that you can actually bounce up and down. Okay, it's broken. All of it is broken. Doesn't matter. So, final thoughts before we move to something very special. I would say from my side to finish Project Slime, it took close to 1 full week. If I would say that I worked on the game for several hours a day, in the evening it would be 1 full week, and we would finish the same amount of work to make Slime happen. On your side, it would, what, 1 day?
Models and animation wise, yeah, half a day.
Half a day, 1 day, yeah. So basically, just for if you begin to learn Unreal and if you somehow manage to watch the stream, so basically for us, for completely idiots and for complete beginners, it took me 1 week, him close to 1 day for the models, and the rest was just basically playtesting, showing to friends, showing to relatives, playing ourselves, and coming back to it after work and after some other stuff. And we missed the deadline for the stream or for the jam, but in the end, I'm actually very happy because that's what I didn't understand working on Nightfall for half a year. We managed to create a lot of systems. I managed to learn a lot about Unreal, but it was a constant grind for free in your own spare time. Nobody would see how you work, nobody would care, and it began to very quickly demotivate me, and I would work slower, and make stupid mistakes. And this, it doesn't matter that it looks like shit. It doesn't matter that it's very short and very basic. I'm happy. I'm very happy that we made it, and I'm very happy that we finished and released it. You have no idea how happy I am. Because on the background, you have work, you have life, you have everything you do. Some people, doesn't matter what you do in your life, but when you finish something, of your own game project, and when you release it, when you let it go, and it's final and it's working, it's how Idol from the young ages would always said, it feels like coming. So speaking of this, let's close Slime. Let's close Unreal. At least this project. I will not save all of this because oh, that's basically, yeah, maybe you saw it. It's I try to keep all of the stuff I work on, meaning this is all of the Nightfall, and this is the first couple of streams. I try to keep all of my dev stuff on Google Drive, and this is the reason why I can do it like this, and hey, Kirill.
Yeah.
Are you ready to see the first ever build of Nightfall I've sent you?
Sure. In a minute.
Well, yeah, do your stuff. I will actually look when did I upload it. What was that?
I mean, I will see it in exactly a minute.
Yeah, I understand. Let me. Okay, so the first alpha was uploaded and moved in on April 28th. So let's say, okay, I don't know how many months is that, but whatever.
Nice.
I don't know what's in there, but yeah, you will hear me first, and then Kirill will also see what's actually in the Nightfall. Nightfall, once again, we have a roadmap for the project. I will not open it, but basically, idea was compiled and set for development in the beginning of 2017. We began to actually make it a reality because I had the idea for a long time, and the basic premise of it is a journey of a person and you with that person through some tower you randomly find on a very cold planet, and you hide inside it to basically spend the night, to basically survive until the next morning. And your journey is the whole night, one night in this game. Yeah, man, let's open it. Let's see what actually... Hey, it already had this... let me actually make it... It's very, very loud. I need to make it quieter. Even more, okay. So it already had this main screen I kept, and I will remake it even for a demo, the next demo, of course.
Oh,
okay.
I see.
Okay, it already had, because in the beginning, see, I didn't have any movement control whatsoever, but I had this idea of more of a survival game that involves being alive and staying warm and keeping yourself fed with food and stuff like that. Fuck, man, it doesn't even have the turning of the character, but at least it has this over the head idea. Oh, jump.
Oh, I see.
You can already jump. So this in the beginning. Oh crap! You can actually turn with the mouse. Man.
Oh, it's the mouse one.
Yeah, it's the first one when I...
Stick shooter.
I was subconsciously trying to copy World of Warcraft. Yeah, we had this very simple inventory, and you pick stuff, and you try to use it somehow, or you drop it, you pick it back up, you cancel the action, you drop stuff. And I had this idea of you trying to find stuff, to burn it, to eat it constantly, because you will not know what an item does until you try to actually use it. So we had this idea of, let's say, of a fire you set, of a food you pick up and stuff like that. Doesn't matter. So, some sounds. Okay. What next? Oh, this is waterfall. Okay. Steel can turn, cannot. Yeah. This was the second. Whoops. You did not see it on the stream. You did not see it on the stream.
I'll see it on the stream.
Nope, nope. So this was the point where we began to show some other mechanics, but you see, it's if you thought that the first demo we showed was bad, this one is even worse. And so this is where I added some food. So you would eat some stuff, and it would have random effect on you. You would get I don't know, just health. You get poison stuff. Just survival games. And this already has this stuff because in the beginning, what I had in mind is you pick every object and you do not know what it does. You can basically try it, and when you try it, you see that this is fire. You will begin to get the purpose of the item, and in the game for you, we will feel all of the menus, all of the meaning behind it. So this, you already know that it's some form of fire. This was our beginning. Everything is on the keyboard, which is bad, but still works. What's next? It's all coming back to me, man. It's all coming back to me. Oh,
I don't believe I even got it.
you got it.
I haven't played it.
You played it because at that point in time, it was actually... You will see it. You will see it in the... because I started with the basic Unreal starter package, so I didn't have any capability of adding an actual bow and arrows, so I picked the Unreal rifle. So you would actually go and shoot stuff. You would shoot and jump, and when you try to leave, it would actually create this. So the first build of Nightfall was basically a twin stick shooter. Let's say it like this. Kirill will at some point see. So it was.
I'm seeing it.
Oh, this is nice. This is nice. This is nice. It's all coming back to me, man. Oh man. Oh crap. So all of these models, all of these custom models is from some other project. I don't have any rights to use them, but I had to take something. I had to work with animation, and this is why I began to... Okay, close enough. Almost. Okay, all done, all dead. Okay. Okay. Do you see how good it is?
Oh, I'm in awe.
Lightning. Okay. Let's try this one. What's this? Oh no! Oh no! Oh crap! Oh crap! Yeah, I remember. Okay, so this was the point where I began to work with enemy AI. In terms of, it's not even an AI, it's just a basic function that tracks the position of the player, and that makes the AI go and try to kill the player. Basically, go after the player, kill the player, you respawn at the beginning of the level, and they continue to come after you and kill you. That was the basic idea. Well, man, for April, it's somewhat impressive. It works.
I mean, it's better than Stumper.
Stumper. We do not talk about Stumper. Never. And oh yeah, this was the final idea of a labyrinth. Oh man, I don't remember. Yeah, see, we need somebody who actually knows how to make levels, because this is an atrocity. This is, man, I have no idea. Oh yeah, back then I also had the stamina system. Basically, if you could, you would, if you had enough stamina, you would jump and do stuff and shoot. Oh shit! Oh, what you don't see is... oh yeah, I had an invisible enemy in the labyrinth. And you would only know about the enemy if you hear it. If it catches up to you and you hear the enemy... such a good game. Perfect. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, this is nice. This is fun. So, while I'm trying to finish this goddamn labyrinth, Kirill will actually tell you what he thought about the project in the first couple of months. You, as probably, thought that we will never make this game and I will never make it into an actual working engine.
Well, we still haven't made it.
Well, yeah, true. But back then it was... back then in April, before Kirill started to work on Blender and began to research models and animations, I wanted for both of us to be programmers and for both of us to work on the game and to actually design the game at the same time with two set of hands, to save up, basically to compensate for our whole part of us being not very bright and smart. Still, didn't work out. Kirill, how many lessons did you pass on Khan Academy?
Well, I did what you asked, and I went to Unreal. But actually, programmers say it's not true. Two heads don't make better in programming. One is, more productive.
Yeah, and it's more than just...
It worked out.
Because it's more than just productive. I don't have a downloaded developer build of the first couple of builds, but basically... Okay, let me finish the demo. What happens here? Oh, the game starts again. So, what happened is when I understood that Kirill cannot program, or at least he's not as stubborn and stupid as me to just basically brute force and bash against an idea until it works, I understood that we need to split, that he needs to go for the models because our game would be... he would need to go for the models because our game would need to be 3D. I do not want and will hopefully never work on a 2D game because I don't believe in it the same way as I did in 15 years. But
you say that now.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Hey. Maybe we someday make a 2D game. Why not? But basically, I didn't want to begin with a 2D game because personally, I want to work on 3D games mostly, and I want to make big, not realistic, but at least not pixel art of the 16-bit era over and over again for the next 20 years. So basically what I've started to work on is continue to work myself, but I began to create... remember constructors? No?
Yeah.
So basically, what for Kirill, damn, I should have prepared it. I created a custom set of blueprints for Kirill to easily begin to design levels, for him to be able to create in Unreal stuff without actually knowing blueprints and programming. But it took so much time for me to create every single constructor object to give to him that in that it just basically all was left for me, and he... Well, you tell me, how did you end up with Blender?
I mean, you have it to the end time. No, I'm not talking about Blender. I mean about Constructor. There wasn't many systems in the game, and it took so long to, make the Constructor.
Yeah. No, well, it was the beginning of the year. It was spring. I was just getting started with Unreal. So if you would tell me to do Project Slime Hole back in spring, it would never fucking happen. No chance at all. Never happen. But maybe I could do better stuff with Nightfall right now. And this is actually what we will end the stream on, because that's what I wanted to discuss in the end. Why
Yeah.
do we... Okay, let me... Since this is the end of the stream, let's do it like this. This is the official end. Yeah, let me see how many hours did we make. Oh, we're close to 1 hour. Okay, 5 minutes left. Basically, why we started to make Project Slime and everything like that. Why did we not continue to work only on Nightfall for like how many people do, how more smart people do, work on a game for 2-3 years, make it happen and release it, and maybe by the time you make the first game, you're more capable to make the game you want. But for me, Nightfall means a lot. For me, Nightfall is a personal story, first of all, and a set of mechanics I know I need to make, but many of them I still don't know. So for that reason, I chose to do a series of smaller projects we will do with Kirill. Project Slime was the first project, fucking first project. Nothing came before that. And after Project Slime, we will continue to do several other smaller games, different genres, different lengths of development. But basically, we want to limit ourselves to 1 month per project. Okay. At the beginning of the months, we craft some roadmap, we develop the game, we release the game, and then we do a stream in which we basically explain how the whole development process went. And hopefully, after 5, 10, 20, I will be ready and Kirill will be ready to return and to make Nightfall a game I want for it to be. Because right now, Kirill especially, but me as well, we don't deserve for Nightfall to happen. Maybe in a year we will. So, you, what do you have to say for yourself at the end of the stream?
I don't know. Keep working.
As always, motivational.
As always.
Motivational. Last couple of stuff. We're both brothers, Kirill and Sergey. Kirill lives in Perm. I was living in Perm for close to 10 years maybe, I don't know, and left Perm to pursue career in game development. I'm a community manager by trade. I work on several projects, sometimes at the same time, and right now I'm working mainly on Tank Online. Check it out. First stream, Project Nightfall. You can see actually the game. And Kirill is a musician. This is your time to plug your awesome band and your last performance for your band.
Well, we're changing genres.
Oh,
so it's work in progress.
So you're seeing yourself. You're exploring. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Let me actually plug. How is your band called?
No. It's a new band. It's a new band. You forget. Only 3 people. New band.
Oh yeah. So this is called what? Tequila Trouble. Okay.
It's our previous project, our past.
Okay. So if you want to see what Kirill does as a musician and why the future music in all of our projects will be absolutely mind-blowing, watch Tequila Trouble. Yeah. That's it for tonight, because we'll probably play some stuff, talk about some stuff, but the stream is about Project Slime, how we made it, and once again, hey, if you want to begin to make games, I highly suggest for you to go for Unreal, okay? I understand nobody's paying me to say that, but I tried for many years, Game Maker, Unity, stuff like that. Unless you're a programmer, I highly recommend to choose Unreal as your first engine to make the first set of games. And the last recommendation I have for you is a channel, a YouTube channel. if you want to begin to understand, let me show it off here. If you want to grasp the very basics of Unreal Engine, skipping Khan Academy, skipping everything about programming at all, go to this channel. This is a very helpful, very intelligent, very good speaker person, Matthew Watstein, I don't know. And he does short videos about specific parts of Unreal, what to do, what to learn, and just go to his videos and do them the oldest first. He has everything you need to know. Everything. What's a float? What's an integer? What's a string? What's a function? What's UMG? Basically, he has absolutely everything you need to know about Unreal, right up to 4.18 and the new stuff they made. By the way, 4.18 Unreal Engine, awesome shit. This is my last recommendation. Kirill, do you have anything to plug about Blender, about learning Blender?
Well, as you said,
As
YouTube.
always, useless.
YouTube.
Okay.
YouTube will tell you everything you need.
Okay, so for a random person, for a random viewer of this video, thank you for
the future.
From the future, from the far distant future where people actually care what we did. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
And I'll see you next time.
And now you shut up because we need to stop the stream.
Okay.
And you shut up like actually right now.